Charlie Kirk was shocked when this liberal tried to call out Christianity, but his response was so convincing he had zero choice but to agree.
First of all, I just want to say, man, I'm excited to see you. I watch your videos all the time. I disagree heavily, and I originally wanted to come here and maybe troll, but I actually have a genuine question for you. And my question to that is, why is it that you are in strong support of religious values being instilled as American values and protected by the Constitution when our founding fathers kind of tried to stray away from a instillment of a specific religion on the entire country?
Well, I would reject the premise, but let's just kind of let's ask you, by what standard do you think we should live by?
Standard in the country?
Just as humanity, what should we say is good or evil, and where should we get that from?
I think that we should have a set amount of values that come from what we as a society kind of create, and that can be contributed by a mix of different religions and perspectives and opinions, which is why I disagree with the instillment of a specific religion on the entire country.
So I'll tell you what I believe. I believe specifically the Ten Commandments is a great place to start. What would you say are rules for life, and where do we get them from, and why should we believe them?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I mean, so again, like I said, I think that a lot of things we can point to the Bible, we can point to the Ten Commandments, we can point to a lot of these teachings, and we can say, okay, here's a good set of values that we have that are outlined in the Ten Commandments, in the Bible, and stuff like that. But we can also, what that raises the issues of is what that does for the rest of the country. Because if you flip that logic and you applied it to, let's say, values of Islam, values of Hinduism, values of Buddhism.
We weren't founded on those values, though.
Correct.
Right?
We were not founded on those values, but also I think that just because we were founded on beneficial values of a specific religion does not mean that we as a country should look to solidify the entire country in religion. And what we're seeing a lot in government is more religious involvement. We're seeing a lot of money.
Which we should. We should have a ton more religious involvement. And the reason primarily being is if America goes secular, it will lose its mind.
Would you agree then
and we're seeing that.
Would you agree with if the president elected was Muslim or had a different religion than you? Would you also...
Well, let's take Vivek. I mean, Vivek is a Hindu, but Vivek would come up here and say the Ten Commandments is one of the greatest moral breakthroughs ever. The point being, and this is what I'm getting at, is that Christianity is the greatest ethic that humanity has ever had to live under. Hold on a second.
Sorry.
Christianity, as we know it, is the greatest moral ethic. And these are things you agree with. Love the stranger, help others, have justice.
Love thy neighbor.
Yeah, love thy neighbor as yourself, like Leviticus 19, right? These are beautiful teachings. In fact, they're so beautiful that you think that they're common, when in reality the rest of the world doesn't always have them. Even freedom of speech and natural rights and charity to the lesser, these are all Christian values. So what I'm getting at, though, is if we remove Christian values, which you may or may not be suggesting, what do we replace them with?
I guess my question is more centered around using taxpayer dollars. Well, I guess I can lead with a question. How do you feel about taxpayer dollars using to fund things like Bible teachings in public schools?
Yeah, I totally support that. The Bible is a historical document.
And so my question again is, how would you feel about taxpayer dollars going towards teachings of the Quran?
Well, they actually do that already.
And are you in support of it?
Hold on a second. Pause. We do have a religious texts of a lot of public schools. Yes, we should look at all religious texts of great faiths and learn and examine them. Okay, what does the Quran say? What does the Bible say? If it's in a public school.
But I think you know what I'm pointing at.
Sort of, but it's important to understand, though, that only one of those texts was believed and continued this country moving forward, which, of course, is the Holy Bible. And the teachings of the Bible were at 55 out of 56 of the signers of the Constitution were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. God is mentioned 4 times in the Declaration of Independence.